Welcome back to the show. In today's local author feature, we're featuring Lori Gold, the author of Romantic Friction, her sixth novel, which was released earlier this month. She has a couple of book signings here in the upstate today. Lori, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you live right outside of Boston, and you're here just to kind of release this book and really talk about it. So thank you for making YC a stop on your journey.
Yeah.
You have two book signings today, but before we get into that, this is novel number 6, and I was looking on your website. What types of things does Lori write? And you're all over the place when it comes to genre. Some young adult stuff as well, historical, and this is the first one in its genre that you've done.
Yeah, so this is book club fiction, and this is about a best-selling author who discovers another author has used AI to write in her style. We can talk about that.
No.
Yeah, this is the first in that style for me. My previous books were an adult historical about Theodosia Burr, who has ties to South Carolina, and 4 young adult novels. So I've kind of transitioned into this new genre that I hope to stay in for a little bit.
When did you realize that, love for stories and then putting them on paper and then putting them in books, when did you realize that was something that you wanted to do?
This is kind of a second career for me. So I started writing about 2013. When I was a kid, I was a huge reader. I'm still a huge reader, but I never thought of being an author. I wasn't one of those people who wanted to write since I was a little kid. It kind of came to me later as I was thinking about a career change, and I was like, I've always loved books. I'm steeped in that world. I have a journalism degree, so I thought I knew about writing. So I said, okay, I'll switch and I'll write creative fiction. Well, it took me 3 years later to get my first book written, and that one was never published, and for good reason. I learned a lot of how to write through that first book, and then I kind of was able to write my next book.
I think that's a valuable lesson for folks to understand that you're not going to get it right on the first try, and sometimes not releasing it is the best gift you can give yourself. It's kind of giving yourself that grace to kind of work through it. But number 6, I'd imagine that now people know that you're on it, you have great stories. What do you want people to get from Romantic Friction?
So Romantic Friction has a lot of components to it, about this author who is challenged by an author who's using AI to write like her, and the fans embrace it instead of it being canceled, which we might expect. And so it has a lot of components to it. It's a very inside publishing book. So in order to describe what would happen if an AI author wrote as someone else, you have to understand the world of publishing. So you'll get a lot of gossip about the publishing world. And it's also set at a romance readers convention where all these authors band together to take the AI author down by committing a felony. So you'll get the behind the scenes at a romance readers convention. So it's great for readers who love romance and romantasy books. But it also talks about female friendship and women as they're kind of aging into their 40s and 50s, which is a character type that is not in books as much today. But overall, if you read this, I want readers to kind of come away with an understanding of how hard the book publishing world is and how hard it is to be an author, but still have this awe for the world of books and publishing, because it is a great escape and it's a great part of our entertainment.
I love that there's so many different levels there, from friendship between women, which of course people love to read about that and probably don't get enough of that as well. The bigger conversation about AI and its role in our society, especially when it comes to writing and publishing and creative control. So it probably could be a good teaching book to kind of talk about, have those larger conversations too.
Yeah, I really wanted to be able to spark those discussions, and I present both sides. I said I have a journalism degree, so I take one author who writes her own material and another author who is using AI to help her write her material. And I wanted to show both sides. Why is one argument, who each has an argument there, and put that on the page and spark debate. There's debate in the book about it, hopefully in some witty banter. But I wanted people to come away with being able to say, how do I feel about this? Can I take this to my book club, and can we have discussions about what would it be like if we were reading a book written by AI?
So people that have a summer book club, this would be a good one to add to the list, because you're going to have some insightful conversation about it. For folks that want to meet you, engage with you, get the book and get it signed, today is the day to do it here in the Upstate.
Today is the day, yes. I'll be at the Middle Tiger Library in Lyman from 2 to 4, and I'll be at M. Judson tonight at 7:30.
And M. Judson's right up the street, so definitely go out and support those. They can buy the book there and get it signed as well. For folks who are looking to reach out to you, maybe want to have you come in and do a talk or do some type of interaction with them, what is the best way for them to get in touch with you and keep up? I'm sure number 7 and 8 are probably already in the works.
They're on their way, yeah.
So people want to keep up with you and see when those are released.
So my Instagram, which is Lori Goldstein Books, or my website, which is lorigoldsteinbooks.com.
I know when I was writing out this morning, I was like, is her last name Goldstein? But you print your books under Goldstein?
My previous books are under Goldstein. This is the first one under Lori Gold. New genre, kind of separated out from especially the young adult books, so we understand this is pure adult fiction as opposed to the young adult fiction.
Well, congratulations. Thank you for sharing your book with us today, and we'll put all the information so they can get in touch with you. But again, today at Middle Tiger, the library, and then at M. Judson tonight, right up the street here in downtown Greenville. Thank you, Lori.
Thank you.
Of course.